Hello, this is a new DevBlog for the Artisan skill. They start off with a lovely introduction. So they start by saying, thanks for all the feedback from the last developer blog about the Artisan skill. They wanted to put another developer blog to go into a bit more detail about what you can make using the Artisan skill. As they mentioned in the last developer blog, they will go into more detail about balancing at a later stage, but they will make sure that they don't devalue the effort that players have already put into getting their skills to where they are, and to maintain the ethos that those who put in the hard work will get the benefit of higher skill levels. One of the key things from the last round of feedback was the impact of Artisan on combat, so they're going to remove all the combat benefits from Artisan and make it truly a skill. The only impact Artisan has on combat is the ability to create magic robes. These robes fill gaps in which there are no magic robes and do not devalue any other existing content. The important thing to remember is that nothing here is set in stone, and should this pass a poll, they need a huge amount of feedback from us during the development process. The whole point of what they're trying to do is to make sure the skill is what we truly want. So, Artisan in short. They know it's a long developer blog, so those who want a quick recap of Artisan, here it is. Artisan is very similar to Slayer, but for skilling rather than fighting. You'll visit an Artisan master who will give you an assignment to gather resources. Once you've gathered the resource, he will ask you to craft it into an item. This will award you with XP in the Artisan skill, the gathering skill which you use to get the resource, and the skill you use to craft the item. The items you make are unique to the Artisan skill and will give you help and new ways to level up your existing skills. As your Artisan skill increases, you'll have access to more and more useful items such as elemental runes, two-handed crossbows, food with poison healing properties, wieldable harpoons, and totems to buff your existing skills, among many other things. You will also gain access to brand new resources and areas as your Artisan level increases. So let's read on to find out more. So we start off with gathering resources. To level up your Artisan skill, you need to visit an Artisan master to get your assignments from them. Your Artisan master will first give you an assignment to gather some resources, and what the Artisan master will ask you to collect will depend on your level and the level of Artisan master you are talking to. Here are the initial thoughts for what you could be asked to collect. So for mining, woodcutting, fishing and hunter, there are various items that we will be asked to collect. With a low level Artisan master, you'll be asked for lower level items such as tin, copper, iron, shrimp, oak logs, blue feathers, kebbit claws. And as you go through the masters, you start to get more higher level items such as quartz, elm logs, magic logs, runite, great kayak fur. Now, as we can see from the table above, there are some new resources that you can gather such as quartz, ash logs, elm logs, redwood logs and great kayak fur. So here's a breakdown of how they see them fitting into each skill. An ash tree will require level 20 woodcutting, an elm tree will require level 50 woodcutting, a redwood tree will require level 85 woodcutting, quartz will require level 60 mining, and great kayaks will require level 80 hunter. Each Artisan master will grant you access to a new resource area which contains new resources plus a selection of other resources which you will find useful. You will be able to access this area whether you have an Artisan task or not. These include new forests, mining sites and hunter areas. Once you have gathered the items your Artisan master asks you for, you should head back to him and he will give you some Artisan XP based on the XP you earned gathering the resources. So you can use the resources in certain ways. So using your resources. Once you have collected your resources and have received your Artisan XP, you will have the option of asking the Artisan for another gathering assignment or a crafting assignment. If you choose another gathering assignment, your Artisan master will give you one, and you can keep the resources that you've already gathered. If you ask for a crafting assignment, your Artisan master will ask you to use the resources you've gathered to make an item. The items you will be asked to make will be brand new specific items to the Artisan skill. You will use only the item from the gathering task and another skill to make this item. You will receive both XP in Artisan and the other skill you have used. For example, your gathering task may be to collect 160 pure essence. If you ask for a crafting assignment, you may be asked to create the elemental runes which act as all of the elements. You will receive rune crafting XP when crafting the runes and Artisan XP when the task has been completed. When you next speak to your Artisan master, he will give you another gathering task. In order to craft anything in a crafting assignment, you will need to use an Artisan workshop. Each Artisan will give you access to their workshop if you have the right Artisan level. Alternatively, if you have the right construction level, you can build your own in your. The majority of items you have to make for Artisan will only be available to be made while you have the assignment for it. However, they will be tradable. So next is Artisan points. So Artisan points. Each time you complete a gathering assignment and the corresponding crafting assignment, you will receive some Artisan points. These points can be used to block specific tasks or tasks related to specific skills. From the feedback, a number of players have been asking if they'll be able to access the skill blocking function quickly. To accommodate this, you'll be able to block one skill for free until you reach level 10 Artisan. Once you have some points, you can choose what you want to spend your points on. Here's a list of what you could spend your points on. Block tasks for a specific skill for the next 10 levels. A maximum of 3 skills can be blocked in total. Block tasks for a specific skill until you unblock it. A maximum of 3 skills can be blocked in total. Unblock a specific skill. Block a specific task up to a maximum of 5 tasks blocked. Unblock a specific task. Be able to increase the amount of items you need to collect or craft in the assignment. The ability to unlock specific non-Artisan crafting tasks such as unstrung longbows. So what can you make using Artisan? Below you will find a list of different items you can make using your Artisan skill. The titles reflect what skills the items are useful for. All the items you can make are designed to give you either an alternative way to level a skill, useful items for leveling up a skill, or benefits. The rewards are also designed not to devalue any existing items or way of skilling, and stays true to the ethos of rewarding those who put in enough effort. So fish fillets. This is fishing, cooking and herb lore. Once you've collected your fish, your Artisan Master may ask you to produce fish fillets. As you fillet the fish, you will receive Artisan XP. If you have the required Artisan level, fish fillets can be cooked at any time to create filleted foods which restores the same health as its non-filleted version. For example, cook a shark and cooked fillet shark will heal 20 points. However, before cooking the fish fillets, you can add herbs to them which give them additional effects. For example, if you add a Morental herb to a raw shark fillet and cook it, you will have the food item that heals 20 hit points and a chance of healing you of poison. The important thing to note is that each food item will only have a chance of applying its effect, and the effects they do apply won't be as good as the potion you can make with that herb. The act of adding the herbs to the fillet of fish will give you herb lore XP. They've got a list of the effects each herb will generate. Generally they are the same as what their potions will create. So next we've got carvings. This is for mining and crafting. Using your crafting skill you can make carvings. When worn around your neck, these carvings give you a chance of receiving an extra ore for the next 28 rocks that you mine of that type of carving you are wearing. Each time you craft a carving, you will get some crafting experience. Looking at the table they've made, it looks like to make one of these carvings you need 3 of the appropriate ore. You will also need an appropriate crafting level to create the carving, and the appropriate mining level to use it. Next they've got the Artisan tools for mining, smithing, woodcutting and fishing. Artisan tools can be made when you have the corresponding Artisan assignment. The only exception to this is Artisan pickaxe and hatchet, which can be made at any time after you reach level 85 Artisan. These items are tradable, and each time you make one you receive both Artisan and smithing experience. So there's a series of Artisan tools that you require an appropriate Artisan level to use. To make the Artisan tool you will require an appropriate smithing level, starting at level 31 smithing and ending up at level 95 smithing. Each of the items will require about 5 of the appropriate ore to make, for the exception of the Artisan pickaxe and hatchet, which will require a dragon pickaxe or hatchet to make. All these Artisan tools, whether it's a pickaxe, hatchet, hammer, harpoon, will be equipable and won't require any combat stats to wield it. They also will increase the chances of getting things like birds' nests and gems. Next we've got the totems. These are for woodcutting, crafting and fire making. You may receive an assignment from your Artisan Master to turn some logs that you've collected into a totem. The type of log you use will affect how many logs you will need to create a totem. Once you have created the totem, you can burn it temporarily to receive an effect of the totem, and they also have a long list of the effects that each totem will have. For example, the woodcutting totem will give a chance of getting 2 logs instead of 1, a river totem will give a chance of getting 2 fish, a cooking totem will decrease the chance of burning food, a regrowth totem will get a chance of getting a seed back from a dead crop, a crafting totem will make it so you have no need to use a thread or a needle when crafting, and there's various other totems. All these totems will require a various amount of logs to create, and you will require the correct artisan and crafting level to make them. You will also need a good fire making level to burn the totem. Next we've got the two-handed crossbows, which is for fletching. Another of the assignments you might receive from your Artisan Master is to turn the logs you have collected into two-handed crossbow stocks. Once you have made these stocks, you can trade them with other players, or use them to create two-handed crossbows. Two-handed crossbows are slower to load than normal crossbows and have a strength requirement to use. They do have a higher max hit than their one-handed counterparts. Looking at the table, we've got the obvious crossbows that are already in the game, and we'll also have the Elm two-handed crossbow. The general effect of a two-handed crossbow will be that it's slower to load but hits slightly harder and have a longer range. To make these crossbows you will need the appropriate Artisan level and the appropriate fletching level and strength level to create. And we've got a great picture of a crossbow probably made by Mod Alfred. So next we've got the slow burners. These benefit woodcutting, fire making and herb lore. If your gathering assignment was to mine some coal, your next assignment will be to make some slow burning powder. You'll be grinding up the coal into a fine powder which can then be used to turn logs into slow burners. The finer you ground the powder, the higher level log you can use it on. However, you will need more. When you set fire to a slow burner log, it will burn for longer than its normal counterpart. As it is more difficult to set fire to a slow burning log, you will get slightly more XP than you would for burning a normal one. And for all the slow burning logs, you will require coal and an appropriate herb lore level to apply to the log. The next thing we have is the combination runes. These are for mining and rune crafting. After you've collected pure essence, you will be asked to combine essence into unique runes. This can be done by taking pure essence to the Artisan workshop and crafting the runes. You will get rune crafting XP for making these runes. So there are 6 different types of runes, and they all require a different amount of pure essence to create. They also require an appropriate rune crafting level to create. There will be elemental runes which will combine all the elemental runes together. Crazed and Doom runes will act as catalytic runes. Planetary and healing runes will help for lunar, and teleport runes will also help for teleportation. Originally I was against these, but due to the high amount of pure essence and the high rune crafting levels to create these runes, I feel a lot better about them. The next thing we've got is construction shortcuts. These are for woodcutting, mining and construction. You can build your own houses, and if you can do that, it seems only sensible you can build structures to help you climb over fences, under walls or cross rivers. When you have collected granite or some wood as a gathering, you'll be asked to make some items which are components needed to create the shortcuts. The shortcuts will degrade over time, however the higher your construction level is, the longer they will last. So the items the Artisan Master will ask you to create will be items that you can then use to create agility shortcuts. You will require an appropriate Artisan and construction level to create these items. The higher level the item, the longer the agility shortcut will last for. Next we've got the skilling bracelets, and these are for mining and crafting. Artisan also brings skilling bracelets. You'll be able to craft lesser, major and superior bracelets for specific crafting skill which will help you when you are on the Artisan task. These bracelets degrade over time, and when you make them you will receive crafting XP. So a bracelet of fishing will allow a player to collect fish a lot quicker. A bracelet of hunter will allow players to catch their prey more quickly. A bracelet of mining will allow players to collect ores more quickly, and the bracelet of woodcutting will allow players to collect logs more quickly. But these are only for when you're on the Artisan task. The next item is for player-owned housing, which will benefit your construction level. When you complete a craftable assignment from your Artisan Master, you'll use a workshop belonging to him. However, if you have the required levels, you'll be able to build your own Artisan workshop in your house. You can then use this to make items when you have a task. If you collect quartz as a gathering task, you may be asked to make figurines which, when placed in your house, will give you a chance to build an item without using the resources. The different types of quartz figurines will increase the chance of you building an item without using the resources whilst in your house. And finally we've got clothing which will benefit farming and crafting. If you're given a hunting and gathering assignment, you may be asked to turn the items you collect into materials needed to make clothing. Items may include such things as different coloured rolls of fur, down or skins. In addition to the clothing, we will introduce the ability to grow cotton in your allotments, giving your farming XP. You'll be able to spin the cotton into cotton thread to gain crafting XP. You will then be able to use the loom to turn your cotton thread into sheets of cotton. You will also be able to use the loom to turn balls of wool into sheets of wool and flax fibres, which you will be able to spin at a spinning wheel into linen. To make clothing you do not need to have the assignment, and can be made as long as you have the required Artisan level. So there's a whole series of items they want to add with the clothing part of the update. These will include Artisan clothing, which will help your Artisan skill, mage armor to fill up some of the gaps that mage has, a lot of cosmetic outfits, and some other general outfits which will have benefits similar to what the other Artisan things give. For example, a travelling boyer's cap will store up to 250 crossbow strings. These will all require an Artisan level to wield. Things such as the mage armor will also require a magic level to wield. There'll also be some items similar to a potion that will give you a slight stat boost. For example, the runecrafting legs will add 2 to your runecrafting level for the purpose of making multiple runes. There's a lot of this clothing and they all seem to have very useful effects. All the way up to the Master Crafter's top, which gives a 0.5 XP bonus to Artisan and extra Artisan points when you're doing craftable tasks. So that's the latest Artisan devlog. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. I've been Lewis, thanks for watching, goodbye.